Good morning, thanks for joining me. I hope everybody's well and having a lovely week so far. Might be weekend actually, so I hope you're having a lovely weekend if that's the case. It is time for my monthly favourites for May, in which I put together an eclectic, I think it's fair to say, selection of items, and both physical items and things like TV, film, books, all that sort of thing, and recommend them to you. And I thought I didn't have much this month. It seems to be always the way. I sort of make notes of things as I go along through the week or through the month, and I didn't have much on my list. And then when I actually sat down and thought about it, I thought, oh yeah, and there's that, and then there's that, and there's that. So without further ado, let's get into it. And the very first item, and probably my favourite item of this favourites video, is this. It is concentrated laundry fragrance. And I'll tell you a bit of backstory. I have been using the cheap washing liquid. I used to use the pods, you know, the pods that you just chuck in the machine and they dissolve. And firstly, I noticed that they weren't always dissolving, particularly when I was not completely, particularly when I was using a cooler wash. And secondly, they're quite expensive, aren't they? And getting more expensive, like everything else in the world. So I decided to start using the laundry liquid, and I've been buying it from both Aldi and Lidl, and it cleans really well. I've got no problem with how it cleans at all, but I did miss a nice scent. I found that it didn't really come out smelling the laundry. I like the laundry to smell of the scent. You know, when you go and get something clean out the wardrobe or the drawer, I like it to have a lingering scent. And with those cheaper liquids, although they did the job perfectly well, it didn't have that, just that. And it's not a necessity. It's absolutely not a necessity for it to smell nice, but it's just sort of elevating that everyday experience, isn't it? So I did a bit of research and I came upon this, and it had some really good reviews. Now the scent I've got is lilac, as you can see, and it smells, I can't tell you how good this stuff is. I'm blown away with it. For context, this bottle, can't remember what it costs. I will obviously link everything below, but it's not horribly expensive. I'm wanting to say maybe 10 or 11 pounds, something like that. And it comes in, 25, 30 different fragrances. So, you know, everything from clean cotton type things to fruity fragrances to floral fragrances, and seaside fragrance, or everything, you know, every scent your heart desires. And this bottle lasts for 80 washes. The amount you put in, you mix it with about 50 ml of water, and you use 2.5 ml of this. That, for context, is half a teaspoon. And I was like, you're not going to get any scent from half a teaspoon. I'm going to use more than that. You don't need to. So you put half a teaspoon of this, mixed with water, into the fabric conditioner part of your, what am I trying to say, washing machine, where you put the fabric conditioner in your washing machine, into the drawer. And oh my goodness, not only does my laundry smell absolutely gorgeous, and it really lasts, like I'll wash the sheets and then perhaps I won't change the bed for maybe 2 weeks later, and when I get the sheets out of the cupboard they still smell of this. It really holds the scent. But the whole room that the washing machine's in, my washing machine is out back in a very big conservatory room we've got out there, and that whole room smells of this scent. It's just, honestly, it's glorious. I can't recommend this enough. And I must have used this in maybe 15 washes, and look how little is gone. I'm honestly so impressed with it. It's absolutely brilliant. Try it. It will elevate your everyday life just so much more than what it costs. Next, let's talk about something very boring, probably, eye drops. Now, I don't know about you, but certainly as we get older, I think we suffer from dry eyes more. My mum certainly does, and I think it's one of those things that if it's sort of hereditary in a way. And also, I think the use of screens these days really dries our eyes out. And weirdly, of course, the way you know you've got dry eyes is because they're watering all the time, so they don't feel dry at all. But I've been using these drops, particularly in the summer, because I find that I get dry eye worse in the summer, probably with all the pollen about as well, because I do suffer from hay fever. I've been using these drops for about 3 years, and I don't think I've ever mentioned them on here. They basically replicate your tears, so they're not medicated or anything, and they just hydrate. Use one drop in each eye. They're quite sort of thick, the first time you put them in, they don't feel very liquidy. They feel sort of more like almost a gel serum consistency, but they're easy to put in. They don't sting. You only get that initial sort of ooh from putting drops in your eyes, but they are so good at stopping my eyes from being itchy and running so much. Honestly, I can't recommend these enough. In fact, I don't know why I've never talked to you about them before. They're called Artelac, and there's several different varieties. I'll link the one that I use, which is the Everyday. I just picked them up from Amazon, but yeah, really highly recommend. This has lasted probably longer than I should have had it, because you're meant to change eye drops quite often, aren't you? But yes, I'm going to order some new ones anyway, but I just wanted to mention those in case anybody else does suffer from dry eyes and itchy eyes, particularly in the summer. Next, hair conditioner. I have never found a shampoo and conditioner that I've really liked. I'm definitely not brand loyal. There's not one thing out there that I go, oh, that's really good. But this is very good. My hair had been so dry at the ends, and I felt like the conditioner I was using, I felt like I was using more and more of this conditioner every time I put it on. And my hair was still coming out really dry and dull, particularly at the sort of mid-lengths to ends. And so I found this in the cupboard, and I tried this. Oh my goodness, it's so good. I don't use a mask. It's the Nourishing Banana Hair Food Mask, and it smells lovely as well, bonus. That's what it looks like. It's quite thick and gloppy, but I use it just as a normal conditioner. I condition my hair in the shower, leave it on for a couple of minutes, and then rinse it off. You can use this. I never like to use masks. I find I've got very fine hair, and it does weigh my hair down if I use a mask. Not that I've tried this as a mask, but this is so good. My hair feels the nicest it's felt for ages. Soft, silky. The ends don't feel as dry and crunchy. And I've seen this on offer in the supermarkets. I was actually sent this ages ago, and I just stuck it in the cupboard and haven't used it. I pulled it out, but I've seen this on offer in the supermarkets. I think they sell it in all the supermarkets and Boots and it's all those sort of places. And this is going to last for blimmin' ages, because you only need a very small amount, and I've used it 6 or 8 times and it's still got that much in it, so I feel like that's quite good value for money. It's not hugely expensive anyway, Garnier as a hair brand, but oh, can't get the lid on now, but yeah, quite impressed with that. Next, I just wanted to give a mention to something I have been sent. They did send it to me free of charge, but I'm not under any obligation to mention it. But I did want to, because I've quite enjoyed it and Ashley's quite enjoyed it as well. And it is the Bob and Brad is the brand, and it's a handheld electronic massager. That's what it feels really nice quality actually. That's where you stick your ends. This is the sort of motor part, and it charges with a USB in the end, and it comes with all these different heads. Probably can't see them very well in there, which all are for different sort of experiences, and that sounds vaguely inappropriate, doesn't it? Definitely not. It's like a shoulder massager. I actually like massaging my feet with it as well. Let me just give you a little demonstration of how it works. So you click your end in. It's super simple to put your ends in and out, and you turn it on. And you've got different intensities, and it's just lovely on your shoulders. I have to say, the only downside of this, oh, it's vibrating my eyes and my glasses. The only downside of this is that it's actually nicer to have someone else massage your back for you. Holding your arm up like this for a while is not that comfortable. So it's really good on feet as well. I quite like this one on the underside of my feet when I've been walking a long way and my legs are tired and my feet are tired. That end is really good for my feet, I find. But it's not a cheap item, but if it's something you think you might be in the market for, it might be worth looking at, because it certainly does what it does very well. I don't know if they've given me a discount code, but if they have, I'll put all the info down there in the description box. Right, what are we on to next? Let's talk about this. You've actually seen these. I showed these in a video, a Shein homeware haul. It's a set of 3 bowls with sort of jagged edges and a gold rim. I don't know how well you can see the gold rim there. It's possibly on that one. I absolutely love this set of bowls. I've used this little one for sort of snacky things, and these 2 bigger ones I use for various salads or side dishes and things, and they just look so nice on the table. I love the jagged edges. I love the sort of pebbled glass, do you call that? Just everything about these looks so expensive. We had friends over for dinner and I used them a couple of weeks ago and they wanted to know where I got them from, and I had to say they came from Shein Homeware. She was very surprised actually. But yeah, I really love these. I think they're about 16 or 17 pounds for the set, and I would say that is well worth it. So I'll link them below. I have got a discount code for Shein as well, so I'll put that down below as well. Right, we're getting there with the actual products. This, oh my God, this is so good. This is one of those things that I saw somewhere on my travels around the internet and I thought, I don't think that can possibly work, but it does. This is what it is. It's a, what do they call it? Crystal hair removal, for removing hair from your legs. And it's like a really fine, I don't know quite what, almost like a really fine, mesh, but you know, I can run my finger across it like that, no problem at all. It's certainly not sharp. The idea is you run it across your legs and you just sort of in a circular motion and it removes the hairs. It also takes off a very fine, very powdery sort of layer of skin at the top, so it's getting rid of your dead skin cells as well. And as we get older, our skin cells don't turn over as quickly as they used to, so that's a good thing, isn't it? A little bit of exfoliation. It's not loads, it comes off really, really powdery, fine powder. But I couldn't believe this. I used it and it got rid of the hairs on my legs. It's just as good as a shaver, and you don't have to mess about with water and soap and all the paraphernalia of shaving. Just so good and so simple. Now, I should probably point out that I don't have particularly thick, wiry hairs on my legs. They are quite fine. So I don't know how well it would work if you had thicker, wirier hair, but worth a try. And I think this costs £7.99. It's my new favourite gadget. How have I not come upon this before? You're probably all shouting at the screen, Caroline, we've all had one for years. What are you talking about? But honestly, I can't, for my expectation against how well this worked, honestly, it exceeded every expectation I had. It's absolutely brilliant. Now, this next one is the last actual item, and I think I've mentioned this before. Do you remember a while ago I did the She Glam makeup haul and try on and first impressions video? I think I have mentioned this since. This is the mascara, which is, God, it's tiny writing, the Flutter Wink Volumizing Mascara, and I said at the time in that video that I never liked a mascara the first time I used. I needed to use it a few times before I could really give a how I feel about it, because my immediate expectation with any new mascara is I use it and I won't be used to it and I don't like it. But this has really surprised me. I really do very much like it. It lasts well, it goes on quite easily, it volumizes and lengthens, not a huge amount, but it does do what it says. And that's the brush. It is quite flexible, so if you don't like a flexible brush, it might not be for you. I'm not suggesting that you go to Shein and order one of these. Certainly it might be worth adding on to an order if you're ordering something else and from Shein and you think, oh, I quite fancy trying that mascara. It's dirt cheap and it's pretty good. Right, as usual in these videos, I seem to go on for much longer than I anticipate I'm going to. I've got a book recommendation for you this month. It's one that I enjoyed. I recommended to my mum and she read and also enjoyed. It's called The House That Made Us by Alice Cavanagh. And it's just a really nice, family, easy reading story that really sucked me in right from the beginning, and lovely characters, really enjoyable story. It follows a married couple through their life from buying their first house, and they take a picture outside their house the day they buy it, and they take a picture every year on the same day for the following years, and it's sort of snapshots of their life around those pictures. It's just a really nice story. I really very much enjoyed it. TV, we've been watching The Responder, which I think I've talked about in weekly vlogs. bit bleak and dark, although very well acted and a good cast and good story. But yeah, gritty police drama, I think we'll call that. I've got to give a shout out to the most dreadful thing I've seen on TV for ages, which isn't a favourite. We love a good estate agency show. Obviously Ashley's an estate agent. You don't need to abuse me for that, by the way. Last time I mentioned that I got a load of abuse. Ashley is apparently, you know, basically Hitler, according to my comment section on that day. But yeah, Ashley's an estate agent, so we quite enjoy any new estate agency shows that come out. And the newest one was Netflix Buying London, which I think is sort of meant to be along the same lines as Selling Sunset, but set in London. Oh dear, grim. Oh, so scripted reality TV. Just no, we managed to get through one episode and both looked at each other. And it wasn't even true to life UK estate agency. They were trying to sort of make out that UK property selling sort of worked the same way as it does in America, which couldn't be further from the truth. And it was all just, yeah, a bit cringeworthy, so I wouldn't recommend that one. But one thing I have enjoyed that I've only just started watching, I'm waiting for more episodes to come available actually, is on Channel 4, and it's called The Nevermets, as in never met, but all one word. And it's about couples who start up relationships with people overseas on the internet, and these relationships perhaps go on based on the internet for up to, you know, for months to years, and then they finally meet up with each other, and it's sort of the story of these relationships. And of course, not only have you got the culture differences between having a relationship with someone on the other side of the world who you've never met in person, you've sometimes got age differences, and just it is really, really interesting. And yes, I've only seen 2 episodes of that so far. I think there's a new episode as I film this. I'm filming this just at the end of May, so I'm not quite sure when you're going to see it. It might be a week or so delay, so there might be more of it available, but definitely worth watching. That's on Channel 4. Right, I think that's it for my recommendations for May. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope it was useful. If I was going to say try one thing out of all of them, it would be the laundry liquid. Absolute favourite, love it. Never going to be without a bottle of that in my house, although it might take me quite a while to finish this bottle and get a new fragrance, which isn't a bad thing, is it? It means it's good value for money. Thank you very much for watching. All the information down there in the description box, and I'll pop it into the pinned comment as well at the top of the comment section. And thank you for watching. I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.